The stars were silent when the Galactic Union sent a small survey fleet to Earth. It had been many years since Earth refused the invitation to join the Union. At that time, Earth simply said it was not ready. The Union had laughed behind closed doors. They thought Earth was weak. They thought humans were backward and unimportant. Now, the Union had grown more powerful. Their leaders believed they could take whatever they wanted. So they sent 5 ships to orbit Earth. The ships hovered above the planet, watching and listening. The Union officers on board expected fear, but instead they received a single message from Earth's defense network. The message was short. It said, "We warned you. We were holding back." Then the Union lost all contact with the fleet. Captain Laura King stood inside Earth's orbital defense station. She looked at the large screen showing space around the planet. Her crew waited for orders. She had trained for years. Now she knew. It had begun. "Are they gone?" asked one of the officers. "Yes," Laura said. "We disabled them all. No survivors." General Ethan Cole sat deep underground, inside the Earth Command Center hidden beneath the Rocky Mountains. He had known this day would come. For decades, Earth had prepared in secret. The nations of Earth had finally united. No more wars between countries. They built powerful weapons, new ships, and machines that the Union could not imagine. Ethan spoke to his team. "This is just the start. They will return with more ships. We must be ready." Far away in space, on a Union command ship, Commander Nira Vel looked at the reports. All 5 survey ships were gone. No signal, no trace. She felt cold fear in her chest. How can this be? They had no real power, she said. Her second officer replied, "It seems Earth was hiding their strength." The Union Council met in a grand hall of silver and glass. The leaders of many alien species sat in a circle. They argued. Some wanted to leave Earth alone. Others shouted for war. One elder leader said, "We cannot allow this. They destroyed 5 of our ships. They must pay." So the Union voted. They would send a larger fleet. 20 warships, led by some of their best captains. Back on Earth, Captain Laura received the report. "They are coming," said the officer beside her. Laura nodded. "Good, let them come. We will show them the truth." In space, near the moon, Earth's defense system came alive. Satellites hidden in the dark moved into place. New weapons turned toward the stars. Earth launched stealth drones and fast-moving fighter ships when the Union fleet entered the system. They expected to scare the humans, but something else happened. The humans attacked first. The battle began near Jupiter. It was fast and brutal. Earth used silent weapons that moved faster than light. Union ships were hit before they even knew they were in danger. On the Union flagship, alarms rang. Commander Nira Vel watched in shock as one ship after another exploded. "This is not possible," she said. "We outnumber them. We outgun them." But none of it mattered. Earth's forces moved like shadows. They jammed signals and blocked escape routes. They even took over one Union cruiser without firing a shot. Captain Laura led the boarding team herself. Her soldiers wore strong suits and moved with speed and skill. They captured the alien crew and sent them back to Earth. General Ethan Cole stood beside the cells that held the prisoners. He looked at Commander Nira Vel through the glass. "You thought we were weak," he said. "We were just patient. We watched your wars. We saw your hunger for power. We chose peace. But you brought this on yourselves." Nira said nothing. She had no words. Earth was not what she thought. It was not weak. It was not backward. It was something else. Something dangerous. Far above the planet, Earth ships floated in silence. They did not celebrate. They did not cheer. They simply waited, because this was only the beginning, and Earth was no longer holding back. The Union Council was in chaos. Some members shouted for more war. Others feared what Earth could do next. Reports from the destroyed fleet were limited, but the few pieces of data they had were terrifying. Earth's weapons were beyond what the Council expected. They had no warning, no chance to escape. The Council sent spies to gather more information. They tried to contact rebel groups on Mars and Saturn's moons, but Earth had already found and stopped them. Human agents were everywhere now. They moved in silence and acted fast. The Union spies vanished one by one. Back on Earth, General Ethan Cole met with the world leaders. They sat in a deep chamber under the mountains. There were no arguments, no speeches, just one goal: survival. Ethan stood before them. The Union will not stop. They will send more. They may even bring weapons from other galaxies. We must not wait. We must act. One of the leaders, Maria Lopez, nodded. We need to strike first, not just defend. We have the tools. Let's use them. Captain Laura returned to space. Her new ship, the Horizon Blade, was Earth's fastest. It had no windows. It had no weak points. It was built to fight, not to be seen. Her crew was small, but each person had been trained for years. They were ready. As they left orbit, the crew stayed quiet. There was no fear in their eyes, only focus. Laura sat in the command seat and looked at the black sky ahead. Set course. For the Helios border, she said. That was where the next Union fleet was gathering. The plan was simple. Strike before they were ready. On the way, the Horizon Blade passed by ancient satellites and stations from the early space age. They were now hidden under black panels, still working. Earth had not abandoned its old tools. It had upgraded them. At the Helios border, Union ships were preparing for war. Most captains believed Earth was lucky the first time. They thought Earth had used a trick. They didn't believe Earth could do it again. Then the Horizon Blade arrived. It did not attack right away. It circled the edge of the system, silent. Union sensors could not track it. It was as if the ship was made of shadow. Inside the command room of the Union ship, Verinox, Captain Drin. Sulik frowned. He saw strange signals. Ships vanishing from radar. Crew members unable to speak, over comms. It was like something was jamming everything. Then the first explosion came. It was quiet at first. A small Union ship turned to dust. Then another. No fire, just sudden silence and black. Panic spread. Across the fleet, Captain Laura gave calm orders. Strike their leaders first. Cut off command. Leave the rest. Human drones moved like insects, fast and silent. They shut down engines, disabled shields, and slipped through small gaps. Inside the ships, Union crew ran in confusion. They had never seen weapons like these. One drone carried a message. It played on every screen in the Union fleet. Earth warned you. This is your second and final warning. Do not test us again. Back on Earth, Ethan watched the live feed. He saw ships break apart in clean lines. No screams, no fire, just fast ends. He did not smile. This was not joy. This was what must be done. The Union lost the entire Helios fleet in less than 1 hour. Now, the Council had no choice. They called for a full war. They called in fleets from their allies, even from far systems. They started building a superweapon, something hidden in the deep void, far from any star, but Earth already knew. Human scouts had reached those places long ago. While the Union had argued and fought small wars, Earth had explored, quietly, quickly. In a secret lab on Pluto, scientist Rachel Monroe worked on something old. A project from Earth's past. She called it Project Mirror. It was not a weapon. It was something else. A doorway. She turned to her partner, Jack Hill. If we open this, we will not be alone anymore. Are we sure? Jack looked at the screen. Strange signals came through. Not human, not alien either. Something in between. We're already at war, he said, and Earth needs every edge it can get. Rachel pressed the button. In deep space, something opened. A hole in the dark. Shapes moved inside it. Earth's first experiment with another dimension had begun. Captain Laura returned home. Her ship landed without sound. She stepped out and looked at the sky. She knew it would not be long before the real war began. The Council was angry, humiliated. But more than that, they were afraid. She walked to the briefing room, where Ethan waited. He said, "You did well." "They won't stop," she said. "I know," he answered. "That's why we won't either." Far above them, Earth's satellites turned toward new targets. Ships from unknown places began to move. The galaxy had changed, and Earth would never be the same again. Here is part 5 of your HFY sci-fi story written in third-person style, using simple and basic English, with no asterisk signs and no headings. The space around Vasari Prime was dark and silent. The star had started to die long ago. It was now cold and red, sending weak light across the system. But soon, this quiet place would become the center of the largest battle in the galaxy. The Union had brought more than 100 ships. They came in waves. Big carriers, fast hunters, and heavy destroyers. Each one carried hundreds of soldiers, weapons, and machines. Inside one of the Union flagships, High Commander Varnex stood in front of a large screen. His face was calm, but his eyes were cold. "We will show Earth what true power is," he said to his crew. "Are we sure they will?" "Come here," one of his officers asked. "They always strike first," Varnox said. "But now we are ready." Far away, Earth's fleet moved through space without sound. The Horizon Blade led the way. Captain Laura sat in her chair, calm and focused. Her ship was faster than before. New armor, new weapons. But more than that, the crew had changed. They had seen real war, and they had one. General Ethan Cole joined. The fleet on board a command ship called the Titan Ray. His voice came through every speaker. "Today is not the day we hold back. Today is the day we end this war." On Pluto, scientists watched Project Mirror. The doorway was still open. Signals from the other side came fast. Strange shapes, unclear voices. But something else, to energy. Power like they had never seen. Rachel Monroe stood by the controls. "They're watching us," she said. "Should we close it?" Jack asked. "No," Rachel said. "We may need them." As Earth's fleet reached Vasari Prime, the Union ships locked into attack formation. Their weapons charged. Their shields were up. Captain Laura gave the order. "Send the decoys." Hundreds of small drones flew ahead. They looked like ships, but carried no crew. The Union fired first, destroying many decoys. They believed they were winning. Then the real attack began. Earth ships moved in fast lines. They flew between enemy ships, dodging blasts and returning fire with perfect aim. Union ships broke apart. Their shields failed. Their systems jammed. The Titan Ray fired its dark matter cannon. One blast and a Union cruiser vanished. No fire, no parts, just gone. High Commander Varnix saw the blast. "What is that?" he shouted. No one could answer. Captain Laura and her crew boarded one of the big Union ships. They moved through the halls with calm steps. Union soldiers tried to fight back but were no match. The humans had better gear, better speed, and better training. Laura reached the command deck. The Union captain tried to run. She stopped him with one word: enough. He froze. "You lost because you never tried to know us," she said. "Now your war is over." Back in space, Earth's ships kept moving forward. They did not stop. They disabled weapons, took prisoners, and cut off command ships. One by one, the Union ships gave up. On the Titan Ray, Ethan Cole watched the screen. "We're winning," an officer said. Ethan nodded. "But we do not destroy what surrenders. Remember that. Earth had power, but it also had control." They fought hard, but they did not act without reason. That was what made them strong. On the edge of the system, a new light appeared. It was not a ship. It was not a blast. It was something from Project Mirror. The doorway had opened wide, and something stepped through. The new object was big, not human, not alien. It floated in space, silent. It sent a signal. The signal was simple: we see, we learn, we remember. Then it vanished. Rachel Monroe watched it go. "I think we're not alone," she said. Back near the dying star, the last Union ship lowered its shields. The battle was over. General Ethan spoke to the galaxy. His message went to every planet, every system. "This war is finished. We warned you, we waited. But when the time came, we did not run. Earth is not weak. We are united. We are strong. And we will not let fear rule this galaxy." On Earth, people looked to the sky. They had feared the Union. Now they saw their world as something more. A leader, a shield, a force that could not be broken. In the months that followed, Earth helped rebuild what was broken. They did not take land. They did not steal resources. But they made it clear the galaxy would not be ruled by fear again. Captain Laura walked along the coast one morning. The sky was blue. The war was over. But she knew it would not be the last fight. There would always be threats, always shadows. But now Earth was ready. Ethan joined her on the sand. "You think we'll need to fight again?" she asked. "Maybe," he said. "But next time they'll remember." She looked up at the sky. "They thought we were holding back." She said, "We were," Ethan replied. Now Earth was a name the whole galaxy knew, not as a myth, but as a power that would never be silent again. Asterisk, here is part 6 of your HFY sci-fi story. Written in third-person style, using simple and basic English, without asterisk signs or headings. Months passed since the battle at Versari Prime. The stars were quiet again. No Union fleets moved. No ships fired. The war was over, but peace was not easy. The galaxy was watching Earth closely. General Ethan Cole worked day and night. He met with leaders from other worlds. Some came with fear. Some came with respect. They wanted to talk. They wanted peace, but they also wanted to know what Earth really was. Ethan sat at a long table inside Earth's new space. Council Hall. The building stood high above the Pacific Ocean on a floating platform. Alien leaders sat across from him. The air was tense. One of them, a tall being with bright blue skin, said, "You fight with great power. But what do you want now?" Ethan looked at them calmly. "We want freedom, and we want peace. But if anyone threatens us or our friends, we will not stay silent again." Captain Laura King returned from her missions. She stood in front of her team aboard the Horizon Blade. The crew had changed. Some had scars, some had lost friends, but they were stronger than before. "We are no longer just defenders of Earth," she said. "Now we protect more than that. We protect the right to choose peace." The crew nodded. They knew it was not over. War could return at any time. The galaxy was full of old dangers and new ones. On Pluto, Project Mirror was still active. Rachel Monroe watched the readings every day. The doorway had opened again. Strange shapes moved inside. Not evil, not good, just unknown. Jack Hill stood beside her. "Do you think they're watching us?" Rachel nodded. "Yes, and I think they're waiting for something." A message came from the mirror. It had no words, just a symbol, a circle inside a square. Earth's best minds worked to understand it. Some thought it was a map. Others thought it was a warning. Meanwhile, small groups from the Union began to rise again. Not all wanted peace. Some wanted revenge. One group, calling themselves the Purifiers, began to attack weak colonies. Ethan got the reports. He called Laura. "They're striking small targets. We have to stop them before they grow." Laura responded, "Give me the names. We'll end it fast." The Horizon Blade moved again. They found the Purifiers near a gas planet, hiding in a broken station. Laura gave no warning. Her team boarded the station and disabled the weapons. No lives were lost. Every enemy was captured. "You fight like ghosts," one of the Purifiers said. Laura replied, "We fight so we don't have to fight again." Back on Earth, people returned to normal life. Children went to school. Workers rebuilt what was broken. But every person knew the sky had changed forever. In the streets of New York, a boy looked up at the stars. He turned to his mother. "Will they come back?" She smiled softly. "Maybe, but now they know we're ready." The Earth Space Council grew. Leaders from other planets joined. Some sent ships, some sent gifts. They saw Earth as a new center of peace and strength. But far away, in the dark edge of the galaxy, something else was coming. A ship unlike any seen before moved through space. It had no engines, no lights. It moved like a thought, fast and silent. It came from beyond the known stars. On board, there were no voices, just a single goal: find Earth. Back at Project Mirror, the doorway pulsed with light. Rachel stared at it. "I don't think we opened it," she said. Jack looked at her. "What do you mean?" "I think something opened it for us." The screen flashed. New symbols appeared. This time, they were numbers, coordinates, a location in deep space where no ship had ever gone. Rachel sent the data to Ethan. "We should send a scout," she said. Ethan agreed. He sent a ship with only drones, no humans. The ship reached the location and found nothing at first. Then something turned on, a huge structure hidden in darkness. It was not from Earth, not from the Union. It was something older. Inside the structure, the drones found a message, one line repeated in every known language. You are not alone. Choose what you become. Ethan read the words. He felt a deep chill. He knew the galaxy had changed, but this was something greater. He called Laura. We're not the only power now. There are things out there watching us. Laura stood silent for a moment. Then we keep doing what we've done. We stay strong. We stay ready. Ethan nodded. Yes, Earth stands, and Earth watches too. The stars shined above the planet. Earth was no longer silent, no longer hidden. The galaxy had learned its name, and beyond the stars, other eyes had opened. Earth had warned them, and now the galaxy would never forget. The stars were silent when the Galactic Union sent a small survey fleet to Earth. It had been many years since Earth refused the invitation to join the Union. At that time, Earth simply said it was not ready. The Union had laughed behind closed doors. They thought Earth was weak. They thought humans were backward and unimportant. Now, the Union had grown more powerful. Their leaders believed they could take whatever they wanted. So they sent 5 ships to orbit Earth. The ships hovered above the planet, watching and listening. The Union officers on board expected fear, but instead they received a single message from Earth's defense network. The message was short. It said, "We warned you. We were holding back." Then the Union lost all contact with the fleet. Captain Laura King stood inside Earth's orbital defense station. She looked at the large screen showing space around the planet. Her crew waited for orders. She had trained for years. Now she knew. It had begun. "Are they gone?" asked one of the officers. "Yes," Laura said. "We disabled them all. No survivors." General Ethan Cole sat deep underground, inside the Earth Command Center, hidden beneath the Rocky Mountains. He had known this day would come. For decades, Earth had prepared in secret. The nations of Earth had finally united. No more wars between countries. They built powerful weapons, new ships, and machines that the Union could not imagine. Ethan spoke to his team. "This is just the start. They will return with more ships. We must be ready." Far away in space, on a Union command ship, Commander Niravel looked at the reports. All 5 survey ships were gone. No signal, no trace. She felt cold fear in her chest. How can this be? They had no real power, she said. Her second officer replied, "It seems Earth was hiding their strength." The Union Council met in a grand hall of silver and glass. The leaders of many alien species sat in a circle. They argued. Some wanted to leave Earth alone. Others shouted for war. One elder leader said, "We cannot allow this. They destroyed 5 of our ships. They must pay." So the Union voted. They would send a larger fleet. 20 warships, led by some of their best captains. Back on Earth, Captain Laura received the report. "They are coming," said the officer beside her. Laura nodded. "Good, let them come. We will show them the truth." In space, near the moon, Earth's defense system came alive. Satellites, hidden in the dark, moved into place. New weapons turned toward the stars. Earth launched stealth drones and fast-moving fighter ships. When the Union fleet entered the system, they expected to scare the humans. But something else happened. The humans attacked first. The battle began near Jupiter. It was fast and brutal. Earth used silent weapons that moved faster than light. Union ships were hit before they even knew they were in danger. On the Union flagship, alarms rang. Commander Niravel watched in shock as one ship after another exploded. "This is not possible," she said. "We outnumber them, we outgun them." But none of it mattered. Earth's forces moved like shadows. They jammed signals and blocked escape routes. They even took over one Union cruiser without firing a shot. Captain Laura led the boarding team herself. Her soldiers wore strong suits and moved with speed and skill. They captured the alien crew and sent them back to Earth. General Ethan Cole stood beside the cells that held the prisoners. He looked at Commander Niravel through the glass. "You thought we were weak," he said. "We were just patient. We watched your wars. We saw your hunger for power. We chose peace. But you brought this on yourselves." Nira said nothing. She had no words. Earth was not what she thought. It was not weak. It was not backward. It was something else. Something dangerous. Far above the planet, Earth ships floated in silence. They did not celebrate. They did not cheer. They simply waited, because this was only the beginning, and Earth was no longer holding back. The sun rose slowly over the Earth Command Center, hidden deep under the Rocky Mountains. General Ethan Cole stood in front of a wide screen showing the galaxy. Red marks showed Union fleets. Green marks showed Earth's ships. New green lights were appearing every day. Earth was growing stronger. Inside the secure room, Ethan met with scientists, commanders, and leaders. He pointed to the center of the map. "This is Drutzel, one of the Union's biggest shipyards. If we strike here, it will slow them down." A young commander named Peter Lee spoke. "Do we have enough firepower?" Ethan nodded. "We do. And we have something else. Surprise." On board the Horizon Blade, Captain Laura King received the mission. She looked at her team. Every soldier was alert. Every engineer focused. "Set course for Drutzel," she said. The ship moved fast, jumping through a wormhole Earth had secretly built. The stars bent around them. In seconds, they appeared near the edge of Drutzel's system. No Union ship saw them arrive. Laura spoke softly. "Begin silent approach." The crew shut down lights. The ship moved like a shadow. Around them were dozens of Union ships, all busy guarding the shipyard. But they did not know the danger was already inside. On Drutzel, Union workers moved slowly. They did not fear attack. They thought Earth was too far away, too weak to strike this deep. They were wrong. Back in orbit, Earth's hidden fleet joined. The Horizon Blade. There were 10 ships, all fast, all armed with new weapons. Laura gave the signal. Attack. The first blast came from Earth's stealth fighters. They flew close to the Union ships and fired sharp beams of energy. The ships cracked open with no warning. Then Earth's full fleet charged. Alarms rang across Drutzel. Union soldiers ran to their stations, but it was too late. Earth's forces hit fast. They aimed for fuel lines, engines, and command towers. Flames rose from the surface. On one Union command ship, Captain Rorignac watched in fear. "Where did they come from?" he shouted. His officer replied, "They used a wormhole. We didn't see it." The command ship turned to escape, but Earth's fleet was faster. One blast hit the ship's side, and it broke in two. Captain Laura guided her ship to the center of the fight, disabled the control center. She said. 2 drones flew from the Horizon Blade. They entered the main control building and spread a code through the system. The entire shipyard went dark. Machines stopped. Doors froze. Union defenses shut down. On Earth, General Ethan watched through a live feed. He saw the shipyard fall. He saw the Union fleet break. It was the biggest loss the Union had taken in years. Ethan turned to his officers. Send the message. A transmission went out to every Union world. It was clear and calm. Earth has destroyed your largest shipyard. We will not stop. This is your last chance. Surrender or face more losses. On a distant planet, Commander Nerovel watched the message. She was still a prisoner, but her mind had changed. She had seen Earth's power. She had seen their skill. Now she wondered, were they right to hide for so long? One day, Ethan came to speak with her. You were part of the fleet that came to conquer us, he said. NIRA looked down. Yes, and I failed. You didn't fail, he said. You followed orders, but now you see the truth. Earth is not weak. We chose peace first, but now we fight because we must. She asked, what will happen next? Ethan answered, we go deeper. The Union wants total war, so we will give them one. On board the Horizon Blade, the crew counted the damage. Earth had lost one ship. The Union had lost many. Laura stood near a window and watched Drassel burn. She did not smile. This was only one battle, she said. The war is still ahead. Her first officer, Jason Brooks, said, they will be angry. Laura nodded, yes, and scared. Back in the Union Council, the leaders yelled and argued. Some wanted to call for peace. Others wanted to destroy Earth completely. One leader slammed the table. They've gone too far. We must crush them. But another said, if they can destroy Drassel, what else can they do? The council voted again. They would gather the largest fleet ever made. They would meet Earth in battle near the dying star Vasari Prime. Earth learned of the plan in days. Their spies were already in place. Ethan called Laura. They're going to Vasari Prime. We will meet them there. Laura replied, we'll be ready. Earth began to move its biggest weapons. Ships were repaired. Soldiers trained harder. Scientists worked day and night. Project Mirror was growing. Strange things were coming through the doorway they had opened, and something else was waiting beyond that doorway, watching, listening. But for now, Earth focused on one goal: victory at Vasari Prime. The stars around Earth turned slowly, but the fire in human hearts moved fast. The galaxy had been warned. Earth had stopped holding back, and now they were coming for everything the Union had.